Hello, everybody. My name is Patrick Dawson, and this is my statistics project. I am doing it on if accounts receivable professionals earn more than tax preparers. The reason why I wanted to pick this topic is because I'm currently studying accounting, and I've been going back and forth from school, like taking breaks and stuff. I've really just been deciding on if I want to continue to pursue an accounting degree, whether that's an associate's degree, a certificate, or even further with a bachelor's or a CPA license. So I wanted to compare two careers with different education and training pathways. So I picked the tax preparation and accounts receivable or accounts payable clerks professionals because they have two different pathways. One is a certificate and the other is a associate's degree. My question, as I've stated already a couple times, is do accounts receivable professionals earn more than tax preparers across the United States? I compared the average annual salary for each occupation using wage data from all 50 states and the District of Columbia. In the middle, obviously it's the United States, but on the right, it's a sample of my data that I collected from ZipRecruiter. I took the average salary from each state for an accounts receivable professional and a tax preparation professional. And these are the two histograms. So I like these because they show you the distributions better for the wages instead of just seeing the numbers on a sheet. So with the accounts receivable, you can see that the average is more around the center. Majority of people are making around $43,000 to $47,000, and I would say it's a normal curve. And the tax preparers, surprisingly, have a bimodal curve, and I would say it is still skewed to the left because the tail is over here, and the majority of the salaries are on the right side of the graph. I was surprised to see that a lot of them are on the upper end of the salaries and not more closer to the lower end. Shows that a lot of the tax preparers, since they're specialized, are closer to the accounts receivable, which is more of a broad, I would say, term for the role. My null hypothesis was that accounts receivable professionals make the same as tax preparers, and then my alternative hypothesis is that accounts receivable professionals will be making more than tax preparers, and at the 95% confidence interval, and the significance level is alpha of 0.05. For my analysis, I did a 2-sample t-test, and I compared the averages with it, and as you can see, there's quite a significance in the difference between the means of the accounts receivable, which is variable 1, and the tax preparers, which is variable 2, roughly 9,000, nearly 10,000 difference, which is fairly significant just by looking at the means. But the p-value came out to be such a small number that it did fall within the 0.05 alpha. So we rejected the null hypothesis. T-test shows that the accounts receivable professionals earn significantly more than tax preparers, like I said, by nearly $10,000 on average. My main takeaways is that it appears that it's a better idea to pursue a degree rather than getting a certificate, although a certificate is a shorter amount of time and less of a time commitment. But in the long run, I think it would be more beneficial to take the extra year or two for schooling to receive an associate's to be able to have a broader career outlook versus just being specialized like a tax preparer. I'm happy that after this project I was able to statistically see the benefits of receiving a higher level of education, specifically in the accounting and finance roles, and that there's a potential increase of $10,000 per year, which is quite significant over time. And it makes me curious to see the difference between an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree, and even a CPA license compared to a bachelor's degree, just to see what the time cost would be and how much more you would actually be making based off of your education levels. The areas of improvement for my project is I could have used other sources to verify average salaries of professions. Because I just used ZipRecruiter, I could have used Wikipedia because that is a good source for a lot of data points. And it took me longer to pick a project topic and question that would be easily verifiable because I was originally doing a bit too broad of a subject matter. I was just doing all of associate's degrees and all of certificate programs. So it wasn't really, you can't really compare them one to one in a profession. It was just a little bit too broad. So then I had to narrow it down to my specific career interest, since that's what I'm currently pursuing is an accounting degree. And I could include a larger number of careers in the accounting field, accounting and finance field, so that it would be a bit better of a sample size, as well as it would be a better gauge of the difference in salaries between an associate's degree and a certificate. And here's my citations. I use ZipRecruiter for both of my data points. Thank you for watching.